Hi, Dav here, and today we have a new episode in the art session series. And today we're going to be doing an overview of this sketch I did. And it's interesting because for the past few art sessions that I've done, I've been focused on this specific process of. Excuse me, I'm just drinking some coffee here. Of having a loose sort of line sketch in the beginning and then adding some base colors, then shadows, and doing a whole paint over. So I did have this sort of system where I did use some layers. A very sort of basic use of it's a rough way of using layers without being so detailed about it. And it's a process that works. Just look at my previous videos, but this time I just felt like using a simple flat brush, and I did this all in one layer, and I was actually surprised with the result. I was very impressed with my design skills. I mean, it's not the most detailed design out there, but I think I was inspired because I was on Pinterest and I saw one of these drawings by Zach Foreman, Zakforeman. I've done an art review of the guy in the past, and I just like the way the mecha legs sort of look. And that's you can see me actually start out with drawing some legs or painting some legs, and I think it was inspired by that specific drawing of that guy. And but aside from that, I'm also inspired a little bit by the work of, well, not a little bit, but definitely for this flat brush look. Check out the work of Shinku Kim, Shin, Shin, Ku space Kim, and they have a lot of they're very focused on mecha designs, and they have a tendency, or one of their favorite brushes to use is a flat brush, and it kind of, the sketch or this painting or this design I did kind of has that same vibe a little bit. So I was kind of happy that it's just nice seeing how sometimes the influences you have shows a little bit through your work. It just shows you how influential these people are, but also how you can actually retain some of these design sort of tastes, painting tastes, and something like that into your work without even really trying. And I think it happens because I'm someone who just likes I like looking at a lot of art, and sometimes I consume way more art than create, and that's kind of a thing that I have to work on. But it's not a totally bad thing. It's not like an either or, where if you consume more art, it's totally over. I don't think so. I think even if you consume way more art, the moment you make your own sort of thing, the things you've consumed art wise, it's gonna affect the way you make something or create something, even when you don't do it as much. And I honestly don't do a lot of these designs. I'm way more focused on illustration than I am on design, but I think I was able to create something it's not that complicated, it's not too detailed, but I was very focused mostly on the silhouette or shape design. I mean, it's not super crazy, but I'm satisfied. My artistic design tastes have been sort of met when I did this. Oh, another artist I would recommend, because if you watch the way I was able to add that sort of character in the middle, I actually, by the way, wanted the body, or I intended the body, or with how this sketch was going, the torso. I was already drawing the torso, but decided to make the person actually way smaller. So yeah, anyway, because you saw me sort of draw a black top in the beginning on top of those legs. It was already gonna be a belly, but I decided to sort of change that and make the person way smaller, and I think that was a good sort of design choice. And for these types of things, I think it's good to just follow your curiosity and follow what would be an interesting sort of choice to make. Because I think that can lead to some very interesting designs. Anyway, another artist I would recommend is Richard Anderson, or Flaptraps. I also did an art review of the guy way back as well, and they're very into using the flat brush as well, but they also have they like to use negative shapes a lot in their work. And they also, I think they also do a lot of storyboards. Basically, they have a lot of like black and white sort of illustrations, sketches, and I think some of that sort of showed up here in this sketch illustration thing, design sort of concept. And I like that I was able to make that character in the middle, the pilot essentially, appear behind or in front of that sort of rocket launcher or some kind of big gun right behind her. And even though even if the body wasn't as detailed, I was able to sort of make a very simple mannequin, and I was impressed with myself. Like, oh shit, I can actually do something like this. And I think you would be surprised with what you can do if you just try and do the thing that you think that you think you may not be able to do, because you never know. Like, how will you know if you don't try, right? I know that's a very common sort of saying, and I don't apply it to every single thing in my life, but in art, sometimes it can help, right? So yeah. What else? Oh yeah, I think the brush also helped, because it just, given that this thing is a hard surface sort of thing, I think having a flat brush just helps with that, because I think it encourages you to, like, it's easier to see the shapes way faster when you have like a hard flat brush like this. I don't know. I mean, you could have done this with a round brush, but the thing is, it's kind of hard to sculpt the edges, because obviously when you use a round brush, you're gonna have a lot of rounded edges naturally, unless you go in and really like sculpt it. But I was able to have like an easy time sculpting forms with a flat brush. So my recommendation is to, just try, for example, if you have a round brush, just change the thickness, squish it, and try sketching with that, and put it under like pen tilt, so you can have more control of where the strokes sort of go. And I think you will have an easier time sculpting forms this way. It may work, may not work, but I think for me anyway, I think it did definitely help. And when you do something like this, just focus on the big sort of shapes, silhouettes. You can add some details here and there, but don't be too bothered by how vague it can be. Because when you like zoom out, because for me, when I zoom out on this like design, it seems kind of cool. It seems kind of solid. Again, it's not super like genius level of design. It's a solid, it's a pretty basic, but it's like, yeah, not too bad kind of design. And yeah, let me just drink some coffee because I'm kind of dehydrated. That's some good coffee. So yeah, I think another guy I would recommend, maybe right now I'm thinking of Mike Avezado something. Avezado. M-I-K, Mike. E, Mike. Something. I remember them sketching this sort of warrior chick. I think it was like from a game, like League of Legends, I'm not sure. A game art, fan art, and the point is he has a very impressionistic style as well, and I think he likes using a flat brush too. I'm not sure if I've done an art review. I think I've done an art review of the guy in the past, but I think he is like Latino or Brazilian something, so you can verify that. But yeah, it's fun. It's a fun tool to use, a flat brush. I just think it's yeah, the shapes just seem to come out faster with it. If you're being if you want to be a bit loose and focus more on like light and stuff, like if you're very like illustrative in that kind of sense, maybe go for a round brush may suit you the best. But if you're starting to design stuff where shapes matter a bit more, I don't know, guys, I think a flat brush may be the thing to use. Yeah, and I think having pen tilt really helps, because there are some tablets out there that have no pen tilt, and it kind of sucks because you can't have control over strokes, and I think that's what's cool about having a flat brush. Oh, another guy I would recommend. Okay, he does a lot of like grayscale paintings. Oh shit, not grayscale paintings, but he starts off with grayscale and then he colors them. Warrick Wong, Warrick, and then Wong. Hopefully I'm right. I think it's Warrick something. That guy, super cool. I like his stuff too. And it's cool. I also recommend painting stuff in grayscale because when you just focus on black and white or the values, you're more focused on number one, the lighting, and if not the lighting, it's more of the volume. It's a bit of both actually, and by ignoring color for a while anyway, I think it just helps you focus on the one important area at a time, because there are techniques out there to color grayscale sort of drawings, sketches, paintings, so you can explore that route. But I think it's just you have less to think about when you do this kind of approach. And for me, I did have an easier time just designing, sketching this thing, exploring this concept, because I didn't have too much to worry about. So I do recommend painting with a flat brush. Also painting that thing in grayscale, or painting in grayscale. And for this session, I did this all in one layer, so it did not have like a line sketch in the beginning, stuff like that. I just sort of followed this whole thing stroke by stroke. Now in the beginning, you did see me start out with big strokes for the legs, and that's it. I just kept following with that from that initial strokes, or set of initial strokes, and then I arrived in this, or with this interesting looking design. So there you go. So hopefully this episode helps you, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.